Welcome back, everyone. If you haven't tried Age of Origins yet, download it in the link in the description below and give it a try. This game is really fun. I very much enjoy being able to log in, set things up, and kind of see how things progress over time. Today we're talking about resources and farm or sub accounts and what these are and how they can actually be a benefit to you and help you progress faster. First, I want to take a look towards the top of the screen, and you'll see that I have about 3.8 million food, 2 million oil, 600,000 steel, 220,000 minerals. Now, these are getting to be some large numbers. In fact, sometimes I actually have more resources than this. And I know this is difficult to read on the screen here, but if I wanted to upgrade my main hall to level 26, it actually takes over 10 million steel. And like I said, I only have 600,000. Now, I do have some in crates, and when you try to upgrade this or go to the more option, you'll see that some crates pop up. Now, these are what I have in my bag, essentially kind of like an inventory, and I can keep those there. And there's actually some benefit to keeping them there, and that is if somebody were to attack my city and plunder some of my resources, if I have them in crates, they won't be stolen. So you actually kind of want to reserve these there to protect them, so to speak. And I can also have an option for fast use crates, and that will show that I actually have about 5.6 million steel in fast use crates, which still is not the 10 million that I need. So how can I accumulate these? Well, obviously on doing things like quests, I can send my troops out to gather and use the options here to go to steel mills, and this will still be relatively slow. And with the biggest gatekeepers in this game essentially being the time that it takes you to farm things, and also just the sheer number of resources like food, oil, steel, and minerals and so forth that you need, the faster you can get these, the faster you can upgrade, right? I'm ready to upgrade that hall to level 26. I just don't have the resources. So if you've been looking around on the world map and kind of exploring things, in fact, here you can see Lita 2. Well, that is actually my farm or my sub account, and we'll continue to talk about these. And you may notice things like Sevilla and Sevilla 2. Well, in this case, this player has 2 sub accounts, okay? And same, you can look over here. Lappenherf 2, Lappenherf 5, Lappenherf 4. So if you're seeing areas or territories like this, these are most likely farm accounts that you might be encountering. And that means that it's one player kind of running all these cities. Well, how does somebody have the time to manage all these cities? You feel like you're doing so much on your main one. Well, you don't manage them the same way. So another nice feature is that if you go into your account and you actually have them bound to each other, well, I can hit switch account, use what's I've had to bind them, and you can see that I can just immediately swap to Lita 2, which was that farm account that I showed you. And just by going through a load screen, well, I'll get there. And here we are. So that was pretty painless to do. It allows me to swap back and forth. I can actually set timers on one, then switch back to the other. And if we look at the development of this city, well, there's a lot less going on, right? And this is intentional. So I'll actually grab these resources while I'm here, and you'll see what I've done for the plots here. All I have are farms, all I have are oil refineries, right? I'm just working on gathering resources that I will actually plunder from my main city. And what I mean by that is eventually I will send the troops out here to gather, leaving this entire city defenseless, and then attack it with my main city and reap the benefits of all the rewards. Now, there's a couple of key points that you want to get for your main city here, and you can see that mine is level 11 at the moment. And ideally, you'll pick either level 15 or level 20. And that's where you'll kind of progress your city to. The reasons for that are that at level 15, you unlock steel, and at level 20, you unlock minerals. So depending on which one you're hurting for, or both, will kind of determine what level you go to. But if you look at such things like what I'm training for troops, I can even collect these. Well, I haven't spent much time upgrading my camps or my factories, and probably tough to see, but my camps are level 4. My factories are level 4. My main city, again, is level 11, so I've just left them. Now, I can recruit units, and I don't mind doing so, because the more units I have, the more I can send out to gather at the nodes while I'm not playing, basically. So I can go ahead, increase these in the academy here for the farm city. Well, I've invested heavily in resources. Now, I did take a couple of points in depot. I'm not going to max the depot node. I need to put points in there to unlock what's further down, but also the bigger this depot is, the less I can steal myself when I come to plunder the goods. So be careful of how many you put into that. But aside from that, you want to increase these things like food production, oil production, and so forth. So you're just all about maximizing resources. Same with your commander skills. I have nothing in the war category, right? Everything has gone into development, and I'm just stacking the ability to gain resources so that I can take it myself and benefit the main city. So having low level troops really doesn't bother me. I'm never going to upgrade those camps. I will leave them at level 4. In a level 4 factory, I have one at level 6 because it was required to upgrade in order to upgrade the town hall, okay? Or the main hall. So that's the only thing you're doing. And if you click the upgrade button, it will show you I need to get my hospital upgraded to level 8. It actually needs to go all the way to 11, but it needs to complete level 8. And then the additional levels, the city wall needs to get to 11. And other than that, I'm just ignoring upgrading anything else. I'm just putting in the minimum to get this to 15. I'm actually planning on going to 20, but the first goal is going to be 15, unlock steel, so that I can then benefit from that as well to help get me that 10 million steel that I need. So I hope that this kind of explains what these farm or sub accounts are, how easy it is to do. And like I said, if you bind them, you can actually have 2 cities and swap through them really quick. Now, if you're going to do more than those, you need separate accounts to bind them. It gets a little more complicated, but there's no reason that everybody shouldn't have at least one farm or sub. In this case, I've put it in a vicinity very close to me. It makes dealing with this incredibly easy, right? I send the troops out together, I attack it with my main city, and I just have a bunch of benefits. In fact, I just let the burn duration go on. Now, again, in my bag, another tip here is I've got a whole bunch of things that are unopened, right? And I can get resources with crates, and I'm leaving these unopened because when I leave my city, I don't want somebody else to come get it. My base is pretty weak in terms of defenses, so there is a chance that somebody else can come attack it, and then I can choose to retaliate with my main city if I would like to. Or what I can do is save these when I know that I'm going to send my troops out, unlock and open all of these crates all at once, then send my main troops over and kind of get more benefit out of that attack. Sometimes it actually takes a couple of runs for my main troops to plunder everything, but there's no sense opening these and letting somebody else potentially have access to them. So we can look at a couple of other things. I have gone through and done some in the garage. Now, things like load level, this kind of makes sense, right? I want to be able to carry more resources back to my base, so I don't mind upgrading this, especially since the cost is food and oil. Food and oil are a lot more abundant than steel and minerals, especially as you go on further in the game and kind of sink more time into it. Steel will be the first thing that you'll really struggle to get, and then eventually minerals. So food and oil, at least for my main city at this point, aren't really an issue. So I don't mind spending some of this and upgrading things to help allow my troops to eventually carry back more steel, because that's going to help me overall. And same thing with some of the fleet times, right? I don't mind having gather equipment. It's going to allow me to gather more efficiently. Just means that I can then send my troops out faster again to do another run. So these are some of the things that you might want to keep in mind for your farm or sub account. You're not really building for military power or warfare. You're really just trying to put the bare minimum into your city, and just take a look at some of these numbers as I go around, right? I've got level 4s just pretty much everywhere, level 2 buildings, okay? I have done nothing to these. I just ignore them and do the bare minimum other than what's absolutely required to get this main hall up. Like I said, I'm going to be going to level 20 with the city, so I'm just doing the minimum to that, but I need to get to level 15 first. And that's basically what a farm or sub account is in reference to this game. As always, thanks for taking the time to watch, and have a great day.